Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about walk away and they'll come running. So the idea of walking away from someone or going into no contact with them and basically vowing that, okay, you know what, I've washed my hands clean of this person. They know where I am. They know how to get a hold of me. I'm going to walk away from this person. I'm going to go into no contact. If that person cares about you, still loves you, wants you in their life, they will try and rectify that. They will try and reach out to you, apologize if needed, and they will want you back in their life. They will try to fight to have you back in their life. Because if you want someone in your life, you'll do whatever it takes basically to keep them in your life. So that's why walking away is a good tool to use if you've been dumped, if you've been rejected, if someone is really mistreating you and not treating you in a very respectful way. So it's a good tool to use to find out how this dynamic really is. How does this person really feel about you? Because if they care, once they realize that they could have lost you, they will do whatever they can to change that, to have you back in their life. So if they care and they feel like they're losing you, they will come to you, okay? That's essentially what walking away does, and it shows you. So you don't have to use this technique in terms of romantic scenarios. It can be in all kinds of different scenarios. Like, for example, the example I use a lot as well as romantic ones is, a job, right? If you say to your job, if you don't like the job that you're in, right? And you are searching for better jobs with better pay, somewhere whether you enjoy the work environment more. Once you have got that job lined up and you go to your boss and you say, your current boss, and you say, look, I found this better job somewhere else. So I'm handing in my 2 weeks notice, my month notice, whatever notice period you have. If that boss really values you in the company, they will try to keep you. And they'll say, oh, why aren't you happy with the job? Is there something that I can do to make it better for you? Is there anything that we can do to try and make you stay, right? And if perhaps there's a department at the job that you currently are at, and you think, oh yeah, I actually would really like to move to this department, and I would like to have, I don't know, let's say like a 20% raise. If that boss really likes you and really thinks you're a valuable asset to the company, they will try and keep you. They will give you your demands, basically, if you're really valuable, right? So that's basically what you're doing here. You're walking away. There's the threat of walking away, and you're saying, look, I'm gone. I've got this new job lined up. And they're like, oh, no, wait. What about this? What about this? What about this? So when you walk away from someone in a romantic term, so someone that's dumped you or someone that has rejected you and you're no longer contacting them, they're going to go, wait, I didn't expect you to leave. I didn't expect you to stop speaking to me. That's the same kind of scenario, right? So that's basically how you tell if someone cares. If they care, then they will try and keep you. They'll try and do whatever it can. You're calling their bluff, essentially, right? To see if there is a bluff. Because for example, especially in romantic terms, if someone's dumped you, then yeah, sure, maybe it could be a bluff, but also it could be the fact that they really want to split up with you. And if they really did genuinely want to split up with you, then you won't hear from them again. But it's a good tool to use to find out, right, where you stand. So also becoming absent from someone's life, disappearing, basically, going into no contact, walking away. It makes you look more mysterious, especially if you are communicating a lot beforehand. So let's say you have an ex that you was talking to a lot, you was trying to reconcile things, and then suddenly you just disappear, and you're no longer doing that anymore. And if you're no longer doing that anymore, they're going to wonder why, what happened. They're going to wonder about you. They're going to think, oh, are you in a new relationship? Have you moved on? They'll be curious about that. They'll be curious as to why you're not pursuing them. They'll be interested in that. Okay, they'll be trying to figure out what happened, right? Even if they're not interested in getting you back, it will still perhaps confuse them if you were really into them, you was really trying to pursue them, trying to get them back, and then all of a sudden you stopped. It's still going to make them question what happened. It still might confuse them, And it may even give them a newfound respect for you, and you'll definitely feel self-respect by moving away from a situation where you're not wanted, and it's quite clear that you're not being valued there. Okay? So obviously make sure that you're walking away for the right reasons. So that means for your own sanity and for your own self-respect. If you are using it for a very narcissistic way, like you're using it as punishment for someone who hasn't really actually done that much to hurt you. So for example, a lot of narcissists use no contact and walking away from people that actually really do care about them. There was a scenario in my family where basically these two family members love each other very much, but one time this family member decided that I'm not going to talk to you for 6 months, and that other family member who got left in the lurch like that was really truly upset because their relationship was fine, and then all of a sudden they just disappeared and was like, I'm not talking to you again, I hate you. And they didn't really give any valid excuse. And that family member tried to get in contact with them, couldn't get them on the phone, was deeply worried about them. Right? So you got to make sure that you're using it for the right reasons, right? Because otherwise you could really upset people, and you don't want to be viewed as like this horrible narcissist who uses this anytime they don't get what they want, or they're using it for very silly reasons just to punish someone because they feel like it. Okay? So you got to make sure that you're doing it either for your own sanity, because perhaps you've been trying to pursue an ex that just isn't interested anymore, that just isn't reciprocating, or it could be anyone that's just not reciprocating. And so for your own sanity, you've decided to walk away because that's just the best option for you. You know that trying to pursue this person isn't what's right for you, and clearly this person isn't reciprocating, so the only self-respecting thing left to do is to walk away. That's a good reason to walk away from someone. If someone has dumped you, if someone has rejected you, and they don't want you, and they're making it clear that they don't want you, that's a good idea to walk away from that person. Because if maybe they are bluffing, then you'll hear from them. But if not, and that's genuinely how they feel, then you just won't ever hear from them again. Okay? So you've got to make sure that you're using this tool as for the right reasons, essentially. Okay? So something else that can help while you've walked away, because I think sometimes when people go into no contact and they've walked away from someone, they find it very hard to stay strong, right? They get the urge to message, to call them up in the middle of the night, and things like that. So something that can help with that is something I talk about all the time, and that is to try and become the best version of yourself. Try and find yourself a few goals that really excite you, some projects that you really want to work on, and start doing those things, right? And start creating a better version of yourself. And then when you start to feel better, after 6 months or more, then you can start dating again. But you want to give yourself some goals, some things that can make you feel really good about yourself. Like, for example, something that can really help you is if you build a really good, strong body, and you get a nice six-pack or something, that will make you feel really, really good about yourself. And that's quite a nice goal to have for yourself, because it's obviously healthy to, be fit. So, that's a good goal that you can create for yourself. And obviously you're going to feel really good about that when you get that six-pack, or you get some nice biceps, or whatever it is that you're looking for, right? That you'd ideally like your body to look, right? That can really help you. That can really give you a confidence boost as well. And then obviously you'll get a lot of attention from the opposite sex as well. So that's also a bonus, right? So there's something else to think about too. So you want to do things for your mind, your body, and your soul for balance. Because what sometimes happens when we go through a breakup, or we go through a turbulent time with a particular relationship, we start to focus on one thing, or so let's say we're just focusing on the body and we're just eating loads, trying to make us feel good, but we are ignoring the mind and the soul, and we're not taking care of those things. We create a lot of imbalance in our lives. And sometimes when you go through a tragedy like a breakup, it does get you out of balance. And, people start, trying to find ways that they can distract themselves so they can avoid their life. And if you're avoiding your life, like what Viktor Frankl says, when a man can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. But if you're always on Pleasure Island, you're not getting anywhere. And more than likely, you know, when you've had some time on Pleasure Island, you start to feel bad about yourself because your life isn't moving forward and you're not making any progress. And that tends to make someone feel really, really bad about themselves. So if you want to feel good about yourselves, then, you know, you want to have more self-confidence and feel better about yourself, then don't stay on Pleasure Island too long where you're playing too many video games, or you're eating too much, or you're drinking too much, you're partying too hard all the time. You want to give yourself some balance, right? So, you know, sometimes, yeah, do have some fun. Do eat things that aren't good for you sometimes. But again, you want to kind of have it like the 80-20 rule. Like 80% of the time, you should be doing things that are good and healthy for you. 20% of the time, you can go out with your buddies and have a good time and eat some pizza, right? So, but most of the time, you want to be doing things that make you feel good about yourself. And not good as in, oh, this is going to give me some pleasure, some instant gratification, like junk food, watching too much Netflix, binging on all sorts of substances, drink, you know. That's not going to give you an empowering mindset. That's not going to empower you. That's going to disempower you. Do things that make you feel good, like exercising, working on your goals, you know, filling in your knowledge gaps about dating and relationships, which you can do by following the link in this description of this video to look at my top 10 books for personal development and dating and relationships, right? Those books can really help with that, okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.